How is my sound? Pretty good? Everybody hear me? Everybody good on sound? Okay. The picture, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to live with it. Not much I can do about that. So, let's just wait a couple more minutes here. Uh, it's always funny how I have tea every morning. Some mornings it tastes better than others. This is one of those tasting better mornings. All right. Well, why don't we get started? It's just a couple minutes past 9. Last week, we talked about in the first part, our first part of a 3-part series of letting go. And we talked about the concepts around, when we have life changes, right? Am I a victim, or am I a beneficiary? So, a lot of times what happens is that we have changes in life, and things don't work out the way we wanted them to. And so then we think about, or maybe somebody did something to us, whatever the case may be. And we look at it as if something, in some cases, right, we can all look at it as if, well, something happened to me, as opposed to something happened for me. And so when we have changes, and we talked about last week, a lot of the reasons why we have the change isn't obvious up front. And I'll just give you a life circumstance for me. Some of you have heard the story before, but I was a high school athlete. I was a football player. I was going to college to play football, and considered a military career. I love history, so I wanted to teach history, coach football, maybe later in life after, I finished maybe a military career or whatever was in store for me. And ended up having a pretty serious knee injury, which negated all of that. And it's actually how I ended up here. My family owned a real estate company, and I'd always like worked in the summertime. My father was he was a developer and a property owner, and I never really worked in real estate specifically, but I was always around it. I kind of grew up in it. We moved like every 2 years, so my father was an early house flipper, so to speak, and my mother was an interior designer, so she loved moving. And and so so at first, you're 18, 19 years old, right? You have this plan, and all of a sudden the plan gets removed, right, for one reason or another. And I was young, right? And I really didn't know what to do with myself. So I said, well, you know what, I was living in New Haven, Connecticut, and I said, well, going to school there. And I said, well, I kind of talked my father into coming back to Keene. I went to Keene State College, took all sorts of history classes that I liked, and started selling real estate. And I just liked it, and I was good at it. And here I am today. And you know what? I'm so grateful for the life I have and the people I get to be with. I couldn't imagine a different life. So it's always funny how things turn out. And I think all of us have these stories in our lives. But I just wanted to share that one with you. Some of you have heard it. And so as we have change in our life, right? Life's options is as varied as the stars. I mean, when you think you're going down one path and you head down another path, then all of a sudden, you've got all sorts of opportunities open up. And we talked about last week, so kind of our homework assignment last week was to go through your life and what were an impactful event or events that didn't turn out the way you thought they were going to. Okay. But they brought you into a path that maybe you didn't expect, but really worked out well. And part of the letting go process, right, is about taking a look at what path you might have thought you were going to go on. It could have been in a relationship, personal relationship. It could have been in a business relationship. It could have been, with maybe expectations about something in your family, right? It could be anything. And although it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, okay, and a lot of times the way we want things to turn out, they're based on uh, incorrect information or not total information. All right, because when we start down a journey that we've never been on before, we don't have all the information. So if things didn't turn out the way you wanted them to, one of the ways to let go is by simply looking at, say, well, how did it turn out for me, and what are all the ways that it was positive? So I hope you went through that exercise and took a look at all those events, or really impactful event, and understood that, well, although I was going down this path and it didn't kind of work out the way I wanted to, look at this path that I went down, and I would have never thought that, right? And so when we have those moments, right, and this is all about letting go, right? Because when we have a specific direction we want to go in, or when something's happened to us, right, and things don't turn out the way we thought they would, it really is a change event. That's really what we're doing. We're really managing our personal change, and by not letting go, okay, of whatever change events occurred, you don't make room for the new things, or you don't make room fully for the new things. And a lot of times, so we can be, um, um, if we're reflective about how life's events are turning out or have turned out, and not reactive, then we can more easily navigate the pathways that are in front of us. So, a lot of times, right, something will happen, and it's not the way we wanted to, and we won't let go of the idea that we had, okay, about what I want. Um, and then all of a sudden, we're stuck. And part of the letting go piece, right? Part of why letting go is so important is that it stops you from being stuck. So if you can let go of things, and like and kind of flow into whatever the direction things are taking you in, then you've made room for the new good parts that are coming your way, and you're not letting the old part keep you kind of stuck. And it can happen to all of us. We can all get a little paralyzed. Well, I was thinking about I was going to do this, or I'm really angry because this person did this to me. And then what happens is that you move from being, you go from being, whenever we say, well, this thing happened to me, or this person did this to me, and then now I can't. Now we're a victim. Okay. If we want to be a beneficiary, all right, we want to be reflective. So being reactive, okay, would be about, well, this thing happened to me, or this person did this thing to me, and I can't now. All right, now we're just being reactive. But if we want to be reflective about it, okay, so, well, this didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to turn out, but I'm going to see now. I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to see what the other options are that are being presented, because life's twists and turns always present options. And I think part of the letting go requires a certain amount of faith, okay, that everything happens for a reason, even if it's not clear in the moment. And this whole thing about everything happens for a reason, is kind of certainly overused, but it's overused because it's the truth. Everything happens for reasons. There are no such things as a coincidence. There just aren't. And once we kind of understand that, then it's easier for us to maybe take a step back, even though it's not obvious in the moment about what's in store for me. Even though it's not obvious, I can take a step back, and I can be reflective, okay, not reactive. And it takes a little bit of discipline, of course, like anything else. But I can be reflective on, oh, okay, well, I'm not sure where this is going, but I'm gonna go with it for a little bit. And it isn't the desired outcome I thought I wanted, but when we start with the whole I thought I wanted, okay, the outcome I thought I wanted, it's with incomplete information that you thought you wanted something, okay, and And the whole part of letting go, right, is about letting in more space for that information. And if we wait just a minute and we're reflective and curious, the reasons for the thing that happened to me will become more obvious that it's something that happened for me or for us, right? And it's one of the things, you'll see people who will get stuck, and it happens to all of us, right? Some more than others, but people will get stuck, and not letting go of whatever the event that didn't go the way they wanted it to, or it was something in their childhood, and certainly things can be traumatic. I don't want to minimize any of that, and so there are harder things to deal with than others. But you see people who we'll just take a business example. People who have had business challenges, and they've risen beyond maybe an early business failure, maybe through no fault of their own, okay, and have gotten into other businesses and become wildly successful. And so not allowing, okay, that the event, right, or the thing or the person that kind of got in the way of what you had envisioned, not letting that person stop your momentum, okay, or that thing stop your momentum. That's really letting go. I'm going to let go of this. I learned this body of knowledge from this event I experienced, okay, so I have a body of knowledge, and now, all right, I'm going to see where this brings me. I'm going to have my radar wide open, okay, and I'm going to try to get as much information as I possibly can, okay, about this change, about where I'm going, okay. So I've let go of this. Once I let go, now I've let in all the information I possibly can will come into me, and then I can steer a path to a new direction, and it's usually almost always better, which is, I think, the most amazing thing. I'll just give you one other example. After I had my knee rebuilt, I was told that days of any athletics were over. And for a while, like in my early 20s, I kind of believed that. And as I got into and I was always been an athlete, and then my mid late 20s, I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. And I just went back to doing most of what I could do. Some things I still can't do. And I work out on a regular basis and all the other stuff. So it's one of these things where you never quite know, right, about what direction and options that you're going to have when things don't turn out the way you think they're going to. And that's all part of that letting go process, right? Where when we understand that at some level the direction I thought I wanted to go in probably isn't, maybe really wasn't optimal. I just didn't know that. Or the person that did this to me, or the person who kind of got in my way on something, maybe they were put there on purpose to get in your way, because that's not where you were supposed to be. You were supposed to be someplace else. And that's where being mindful, reflective, and curious kicks in. And that's how you can kind of let go, because you can look at it, you can say, well, it wasn't supposed to be there anyways, or that wasn't my path anyways, so I have a new path now. And then you move on from there. So I think it's a fun process to go back and reflect, because you can go through your life, and you can see the waypoints, right, from where I thought I was going to be, when I was at such an age, to how that event changed and where am I now, right? And you can even have moments where you look at it, well, maybe where I am today isn't really exactly where I thought I was going to be, or maybe it's not really where I want to be, but I'm on my way to someplace better, right? And so that's the reason why we have these experiences, is that they're enriching for us, and they're giving us information. Life is really all about I kind of look at life as like the ultimate information scavenger hunt, right? I mean, that's why we're here. We're here to get knowledge, and to get knowledge that helps us navigate, that helps us navigate our path. So next week, we are going to talk about we're going to talk about specific strategies for letting go, right? and what are kind of like the active strategies that we can use for, turning, as one of the earlier slides, life's twists and turns, and turning them into really positive events for us, and acknowledged positive events. I think that's one of the other things, right? Is that if we can look at it while we're on the path, like we don't have to wait for the journey to end to say, oh wow, that worked out okay. We can be joyful along the way, along the path, and understand, oh look, I'm getting like this bit of information, this, that bit of information, I'm getting this experience, this is going to enhance something else as part of the process. So I got a couple chats in here, and for those of you who are new to this process, please feel free to chat in, because obviously it's much better when we get to share with everybody. Yeah, Lucian said he just started a book, Clean Mind, Clean Body. Yeah, yeah. And then Bill, Zen proverb, let go or be dragged. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. And there's another, I used this the other day, and I think it's a Plato quote, is no matter where you go, there you are, right? So we're always, to your point about the Zen proverb, let go or be dragged. Yeah, I mean, we own our realities. Okay, it's ours. No matter where we go, it's ours. We created it, whether we did it actively or not, which is a whole different topic, knowingly or not, but we created it either at a higher conscious level or a subconscious level. Yeah, the scavenger hunt. Yeah, yeah, really. I mean, really, if you think about, Angela just said she liked the life's a scavenger hunt. It really is. I mean, we're here to look. Let me reverse this. If we don't look at being here and having these experiences, it's like radar, right? It's like we're actively, the term ping, right, comes from radar. So you get a radar ping, right? So radar bounces off something, something solid, right? It sends you the ping back. And so if we really look at ourselves as we're radar, right? And we're looking to bounce as many signals as we can, right, off what's around us, so we can get a sense of where we are. And it really is a scavenger hunt, right? We're here looking for information, and how do we build our experiences? It's kind of funny. I don't know about you guys, but I'll see people, or I'll talk to people maybe that I grew up with or something like that. And people say, well, I wish I was back at college, or I wish, or I wish I was younger, whatever the case may be. And look, there's days I come back from the gym, I wish I was a little younger, all right? But nevertheless, I would not give one day back. Like me personally, okay? I would not give one day back. I like knowing what I know today, and I'll trade my knowledge for youth any day. So the fact that we're here on this kind of knowledge scavenger hunt is really cool, because every day, right, we're collecting more and more information that's helping us, if we use it properly, live better. And part of using our knowledge, okay, is in the process of letting go. You can't go forward unless you let go of things, because if you don't let go, you haven't made room for the new things. So fun concepts. So fun concepts to live by. Well, thanks for all the chats. That was great. Okay, so next Monday, we'll finish up with part 3, and it will be about specific strategies, and that'll be a lot of fun. So really good to see everybody. Have an amazing week. Take care.